So much masturbation.
And of course, that's the first thing that gets recorded. As Bink eats corn the long way.
Oh my god.
Well, thanks for opening us up here, Bink.
This is a first. So a couple of years ago, we ran through a episodic series of the Bracket of Bad, which was just a crazy, ridiculous, fun time. We wanted to kind of bring it back, and Bob had the brilliant idea of the Bracket of
Good.
So Bracket of Bad was me, Bob, Rich, and Bink, and we keep inviting Brooks in, and he keeps showing up. So we're like, all right, fine. We're gonna do these episodes, so you're gonna do them with us.
I mean, you do have my wife and child in your basement, and with a gun to their heads. So that's why I'm doing this.
Shh.
I thought one of the rules.
I
was
see
that
you
he
read the
couldn't
ransom note.
Speak about it. All right. So who wants to go first?
All right, so let's just we'll quickly do this. So Bracket of Bad, we listed out all of our most hated video games, musicians, movies, and then we kind of had a wild card category. So with video games, the Bracket of Good, doing the complete opposite. We're talking about our all-time favorites here, or at least, and I think we talked about this with Bracket of Bad. The favorites that kind of are with us now, whether they're all-time or just maybe they're just what we're thinking about, which is a fun part about being a human being, like, because things do change over time. Because I think we talked about that. If we did this 10 years ago, we do this 10 years from now, this could be completely different. So right. I think that's the fun part. I don't care. Whoever wants to throw first, video games, and I'm going to try to do my best about taking notes. Jump in, have at it.
All right, I'll go first, and I'm going to go with one that I'm pretty sure most of us have, probably not Rich, but Tecmo Super Bowl.
That's all. Actually, Bob, that's on my list, so I'm gonna have to put that down too.
Yeah, is there any elaboration needed for that one?
No,
I mean, it's just some of these. I feel like it's not. There's not going to be any elaboration needed, and there's not going to be any arguments amongst us.
No, do you just want to kind of run down what you got, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah. All right. So the next one on the list is NFL 2K5. I had Mutant League Hockey.
Is that when the Eagles sucked?
No, that was actually when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, T.O.'s in an Eagles jersey on the cover of that game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, dumb fuck.
They lost, right?
Oh shit!
You know what? We're not talking about that. Anyway, where were the Bears that year? Fucker.
Probably playing you guys and lost to you guys.
Exactly. So shut the fuck up. Anyway, baseball stars, Mutant League Hockey, Fire Emblem Awakening. I'm skipping around here. Pokemon Legends Arceus, Super Mario World, Halo ODST, Link to the Past, NBA Jam, and Worms. So
Link to the Past was on my list too.
Yeah,
okay.
I figured some of them would duplicate, and that's why I just went with a big ass list.
I definitely have Worms Armageddon on there.
Yeah,
Brooks, do you have it on yours?
For sure, man. For sure.
All right, cool. So
that's why when we were talking about bananas earlier, I threw the banana bomb gif in there, dude.
Oh shit! Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice toss.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention sometimes exactly the way I should,
crazy.
but Bob, NBA Jam, Worms Armageddon, or Worms, Link to the Past. I know Rich, you mentioned Link to the Past as well. I'm sorry, I was trying to take a couple notes there. What were the other couple other there? I got Arceus, a couple of the other ones that you mentioned at the end.
NBA Jam, Halo ODST.
Halo, okay.
But just ODST. Like the rest of the Halo games were good, but ODST was my favorite out of them. Super Mario World.
Yeah, I think I got everything now. Sorry, I'm not like exactly a court reporter here.
A stenographer.
Yeah, whatever it is. Fuck, dude, I don't know. Whatever it's called.
How do you know what that is, Bob?
I've accompanied Rich. I've accompanied Rich to his trials many times.
Here we go.
Is that ankle bracelet still on, or?
There's nothing on below the waist.
Jesus Christ, Richard!
So obviously we're not using my entire list, but I figured that some of them we would duplicate and we could use those and then fill in wherever needed.
Yeah, and so that's kind of I think that's the cool thing, because like you mentioned Link to the Past, Rich jumped on that, Worms, Brooks, you jumped on that. So you're going to have these duplications, and I think it's awesome. And Tech, I jumped on right on Tecmo Super Bowl, so I think ones that are mentioned multiple times, we're eventually going to have we're going to have 8 spots here we're filling. So these ones that mentioned multiple times, I think have to make it, and then we'll just kind of have to have some kind of reasonable discussion about which reasonable for us is going to be a disaster, but whatever else makes it. So I don't know, Brooks, I've got you up next on my box on the screen. If you want to jump in with yours, man.
Sure. So this is the first time I'm a part of this, so I was kind of following the lead. So I'm glad you let Bob go first. So I have Worms Armageddon on there. I have 7 Days to Die, the zombie survival game, because I've been playing that for several years. I like that one. I was a little hazy on. I put Doom down, but there's but that's an entire genre, right? Because there's like 6 or 7 different games. But that's one that I've continuously played pretty much since 1993. So I put that one down there. I've got the Warhammer games that I've been playing. So Dark Tide right now. I put the XCOM series on there. So, like the old school ones where the aliens are coming down and you got to fight them off. There's newer versions of those too that I think are pretty fun, tactical games. And then the last one is a recent addition. I put I don't know if you guys have seen like Phasmophobia and Demonologist, like where you have to do ghost hunting. And if you screw around for too long, the ghost hunts you. And those are pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah, Danielle showed me some videos of those games. They look cool as hell. Like I haven't played them, but
there's so much fun in small groups, dude. You get like 3 or 4 people and someone inevitably gets killed by the ghost and they get muted so you can't know anything that they knew, and it's fun. It's a good time.
That's awesome. You did mention Doom, which I actually was just playing some OG Doom on the PS5 not that long ago. I say not that long ago, probably 48 hours ago, actually. I just absolutely love old school Doom. I'm too slow and dumb these days to play anything new. It's too fast for me. I can't do it. It's much the reason why I don't play any of the fast shooters, just because I can't hack it. My brain doesn't operate that way anymore.
Hey man, there's easy mode. You can put it on easy. However you want to slay. It's your choice.
Daddy, don't hurt me.
Yeah, I think it's on PS5 too, but all the consoles have the mods on there, and they have the sigil packs. They're the new maps created by John Romero. They're awesome.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Sigil ones.
That's all.
Yeah, Rich, if you want to dive in, man, go for it, dude. What you got?
Sure. Well, I already said Link to the Past. Then I go with Miss Pac-Man as one of the ones I can play over and over and over again all the time. Actually on the cabinet. BioShock. Again, it's one of them things that I bought an Xbox for because it was only out on the Xbox at the time, and I really enjoyed it. And I still think it's pretty good. I like it better than System Shock. Yeah. Day of the Tentacle, another game that I can go back and play every couple of years. That's what I agree. I can keep playing over and over and over again as opposed to whatever.
Is that the follow-on to Maniac Mansion? Is it that one?
It is.
Yeah,
yes.
I remember that one. All right, cool. Right on.
And I have that like on all the new consoles too. Like I have it on the PS whatever, and then the iPad and crap like that. And then there's a game that I don't know if a lot of people played it, but I really enjoyed it. It's based off of a rather weird short story. It's called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. These people are stuck in a post-apocalyptic computer, and the computer's crazy and can like alter their reality. Harlan Ellison wrote it, and they turned it into I guess you'd call it a point-and-click adventure game, kind of like Day of the Tentacle in the 90s. And they just re-released that too for like the you can play it on your PS5 now or whatever, Switch. It's also a really good game.
Huh, I hadn't heard of that. That's cool.
Yeah, I definitely agree on Day of the Tentacle. But now I want to try I Have No Mouth and put on the
me
screen.
too.
What's cool about Day of the Tentacle too is you can play the original Maniac Mansion inside of it. So
Yeah.
they're getting 2 games for the price of 1.
And and we kind of just glossed over because we're just kind of going in list here. But I mean, you mentioned like an all-time classic in Miss Pac-Man, and I think the 5 of us could probably all agree that that's a game that I don't care whether it's Miss Pac-Man or Pac-Man. Like we pick up at any point in time, whether it's a cabinet or a mobile device or even just throwing it in a browser and playing. It just seems like Pac-Man you just can constantly go back to over and over again.
Tetris should probably be there too, but only because I didn't think about it until now.
That's number
Well,
one.
I'm sure
on my
that's on
list.
Tom's.
Oh wait, Bink, what'd you say?
That's number 1 on my list.
All right, Tetris has to make it there because that's also on my list.
And I should have put Dr. Mario.
Rich, I'm going to give you Tetris just because you said it.
Okay.
Do you have any others, Rich? Before I just
No, I think that's good for now. I would say that Bob chose Super Mario World, and I like Super Mario World, but I think I like Mario 3 over Mario World.
Dude,
That's number
I
2 on my
almost-
list.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
almost went Mario 3 instead of Super Mario World, but I didn't want to. I was back and forth between the two, but I went
It's a
World
toss-up
because of the
'cause you
Star
get-
World.
You get Yoshi, or you don't get, or you get a raccoon suit, right? So it's definitely a toss-up.
Yeah, I don't know. I have equal love for both of those games. I have fond memories of when 3 came out. It was like right at the age of 8. So it was really into it. And I love Super Mario World, but I appreciated that game more as I got older. I don't know why that was, but
Did I ever tell you guys how I got Mario 3? For my birthday, gave me a trash can, and it was a Mario 3 trash can. And I got so pissed. I was like, I can't believe you gave me a Mario 3 trash can. They said, what? You said you wanted Mario 3. Well, I had a little baby fit. And then they said, hey, dummy, take all the trash out of the trash can. And Mario 3 was taped to the bottom of the trash can.
That's good.
all right, Big. So I know you've thrown down a couple here already that match. So Tetris, which matches one of mine, and then Mario 3. What else you got, man?
So I got God of War. Absolutely love God of War. NBA Jam.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Bob said NBA Jam. So we got that's a double.
Turtles in Time.
Oh, good one.
Oh,
And then I have X-Men Arcade. I love that one.
That was a good
That's
one.
a
Old
good
school. Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yes, the best Mario Kart.
That was my absolute favorite one. I beat the shit out of my college roommates so bad that I would have to start when they got to lap 2. Then I could start because I just beat the shit out of them. And then last one I have on here is a little different. It's Resistance 2. And that it was on the PS3, and it was probably the first game that really introduced me to online gaming. And me and my buddies, we used to play it religiously because it was there was 3 different people. You could either be a medic, a sniper, or a heavy guy, and we would just play that game just constantly. So the server's down. The server's down on that now, so I can't play it anymore, which pisses me off. But I still can play the Resistance game.
I know you're. I was kind of surprised that you kind of left off Call of Duty and Borderlands. That surprises me, knowing you would like I do now. But
Oh shit, I forgot Borderlands. Yeah, Borderlands.
Yeah, I just realized I forgot Gears of War.
yeah, that's what part I loved about doing Bracket of Bad is because we would talk about things and just shit would just pop up.
Mhm.
But no, yeah.
I've caught on my list. It's the last one.
Yeah. I figured. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there, but I kind of
right.
figured that's where it was going to go.
Totally forgot Borderlands though. That's such a fun game.
Oh, I know, and I know you're like a completion artist at that game. That's why I was surprised you didn't mention it first. No, that's great though. You mentioned some good ones, and I know we doubled up there, Bob. I know you mentioned NBA Jam too, or NBA Jam as well. And but Turtles in Time, my God, how do we miss that one? Mike, that's a fantastic game. That's a fantastic. Actually, I finally played Shredder's Revenge. I know Bob, Rich, and I have talked about that on the pod a couple different times. I finally played that recently, And that's if you like Turtles in Time, you got to play Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah.
So a fantastic game.
Everything good about Turtles in Time, but better. Like they just kind of upped it a little bit.
Yep, I agree, 100%. It's fun. My kids and I played the crap out of it within the last few days, and it's a lot of fun. You guys already got a couple of mine. I'll just hit the rest. Tecmo Super Bowl and Tetris. And when I say Tetris, I'm just going to go and I'll play the all-inclusive card because I love Tetris. You know, I have very, very, very fond memories of playing against my mom back and forth on the original Nintendo. And we got to a point where I could never surpass her. And, you know, she's long, been passed away now for 15 years. And I still have not gotten to that point. Flash forward all these years, I became a huge Tetris 99 fan. So I go through spells and I play that a ton online. That's basically my online gaming world. I don't play Call of Duty and I don't play any of the shooters, but I can play some Tetris online. And I just absolutely love it. Like it's just something I adore. Tecmo Super Bowl, and I'll still download the updated ROMs to this day with new rosters. There's a great community out there for that. But then I'm going to hit my other three here. Going to go Diablo 2. I'm going to go.
Yeah, I was thinking about Diablo 2 after we had that discussion today, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I played Diablo 1 on the PlayStation when it came out, and you had to like get another PlayStation and you could like do a serial cable and you could both play.
Oh shit, serial cable. Damn. We're all about those, man.
Yeah, man.
My buddy of mine had the original Diablo on PC, and then I picked up Diablo 2 on PC, and I there's no telling how many hours I spent playing that. And then I played the remaster now on the Switch. Twisted Metal Black, and this was a hard one because I should have. I can say the Tetris series.
I like 2 better than Black, actually.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. So, like, I could say the Tetris series ahead of anything else as a series because most of their games I love. Twisted Metal's funny. I love Twisted Metal 2 and I love Twisted Metal Black, and it was a toss of a coin, basically. The thing that sells me for Black is that I love
the music.
The music, for one. Painted Black on that is amazing. Yeah. But the darker storylines are just, to me, a bit better. It doesn't have quite the cartoon aspect. Twisted Metal 2 was a nice jump from the original Twisted Metal. And Brooks, you and I, my God, I mean, how many nights did we not sleep and play Twisted Metal 2?
Way too many, man.
Oh.
I remember one night, it was an all-nighter, and we were within 2 games of each other the whole time. It was like 11 to 10, and then 17 to 16, and then 20 to 21, and nobody could break away.
I think we got all the way to like 80 to like 78. And
then we were just like, fuck this, we need to go to sleep.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I have so many good memories of that. And then lastly, Bob and Rich know that I will talk this game to no end, Skyrim. I own it for every possible system that I have. I have the VR version. I've bought that game 6 or 7 different times. I have it for the Switch. I bought it for the Switch specifically so I could scan the Link amiibos so I could get the cool unique items. I poured so much money into that game. It's not funny. But I love Skyrim, and I have not picked up the Oblivion remastered yet. Don't like that price point. That's another conversation. But no, those are it for me. And it's just, I don't think that should be a surprise to anyone on this that I put that. So
and you can yell at me. I've never played Skyrim. Skyrim, whatever it is.
Bob, I don't think you have much either, have you?
I started playing it on the 360 and my game froze once I got out of the tutorial and I got out of the prison, and it erased my save and I never went back.
And that was it?
That was it. But I put probably 300 or so hours into Oblivion.
It's funny how that goes. Like I'm going to flash to the back of the bat real quick. I had listed The Witcher 3 on that for one of my worst ones because I had such high hopes for that. And I think it was a system thing because I bought that for the Switch and it did nothing but similar problems. And I was just like, I can't play this, even though it was such a heralded game because it's like, this is supposed to be better than Skyrim. And it's like, what is this trash? Like,
I forgot
I
about
don't
Final
know.
Fantasy VII.
Oh crap. Oh boy.
I was thinking about the Final Fantasy series earlier, but I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I was playing Persona
I played so much 7, it's ridiculous.
US 2.
200 hours into Persona 4.
That's right. Rich, you've talked about Persona to no end on our pod, man. I mean,
Yeah.
does anyone want to make any additions, changes?
I have one addition. So you guys have talked around, like Bink mentioned online games, and then Tom, you mentioned Skyrim, and I put a lot of years of my life into World of Warcraft. And so I should probably mention that one because that one was that's a great game. It's I don't know what it's like right now, but for its heyday, I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, big. Brooks was so involved in that game that he sold his characters for some serious coin way back
Really?
when. So
I've never played WoW. I'm glad that I never got into that.
It's like it's not even like a game. It's more like it becomes a second profession at some point where you're, especially if you start doing it competitively with people that are trying to push the edge of what the difficulty levels are. Like there's recruitment, there's trials, like to see if you're a good fit for the team, and then they'll kick you out of the guild if they don't like what you're doing, and it's just it's.
Dude, I can remember, and I think Bob, you were probably with us a couple times. We'd be at Hollywood at the bar, like, and you would be like, "Hey, I've got to leave at 7:00. I go to do a raid."
Yeah, I got a raid.
we're like, what is wrong with him? Like, gotta go do a raid? Like, we're having drinks at the bar, man. Like, what's up?
There were
dude?
times when
I had priorities.
do you guys remember?
Man, I'm sorry.
Rich, I know you remember him, but I don't know if Tom and Brooks, if you met my friend Lee, but
Oh yeah, Lee. Eisenmuth. Yeah.
Yeah, so there were times when he wouldn't come out because he was raiding.
Really?
He just straight up would stay in.
You know what I actually noticed with that game was the time commitment actually went down as you got better and more competitive. Because like when you talk about people that are raiding, like if you're with a group that sucks, they're going to bash their face against a boss all night and not make any progress, right? And so if you get in a good team, like when I like dropped all of my stuff and said I'm going to do this competitively, I got in a good team. We would go in and we would clear things all on Tuesday nights after a reset, after the servers reset, and then we're like done for the week. And like you get your social life back if you're competitive. So it was like there was an interesting dichotomy based on your skill level versus how much social life you could have.
You're using big words, Brooks. Those are 2 big words for our pod. You know that.
Sorry, I'll drink another glass before I talk again.
But no,
Or so.
I figure we'll kind of do off pod, like kind of build the list or the bracket that way. Because this is going to take a little bit of work trying to figure out numbers and stuff. But what category do you want to dive into next? I think it's either music or movies would be the good one. But anybody? Bob, Rich?
Yeah, all right, fuck it, let's go. Let's go movies.
All right, what you got, sir?
And, dude, again, I went overkill on these because I figured it's, we're gonna cut it down eventually, and I know that I'm gonna double up with people on some stuff. Maybe not so much the movie aspect, but here we go. So I think I've got like 10 or 11 on here.
Go for it.
So Army of Darkness, Goon, Clerks, Avengers, Spaceballs,
Yep,
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy, Rogue One, Slapshot, and Deadpool.
Slapshot's a good one, dude. With Paul Newman, that's a good movie, dude.
All right.
What was that, Rich?
It's a Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Out of all the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, why that one out of all? Yeah, I agree with Rich, man. Like, why not Lost Ark, man?
That's the one that I have the most childhood memories of.
We're the one with
That's
Sean
not
That was
Connery.
the first one I saw.
The one where someone gets their heart ripped out of their chest. That's the one that you commiserate the most with your childhood.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I mean, it kind of was a portent of my adulthood.
It did have Oscar winner Cahill, whatever his name is, short round. I realize as I'm saying it, I have no idea what his real name is.
Kei Kwan or something like that.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Need
lady.
it.
We go for a ride.
Plus, I'm always saying, no time for love, Dr. Jones. So,
We got company.
I am curious though. Anyone have any repeats off anything that Bob said?
Baseballs.
I had Dune and Army of Darkness on mine. This is my boomstick.
So you had Army of
Yeah.
Darkness.
The only one I don't have it on my list, but I would +1 Clerks.
Yeah, I gotta say Clerks is a good one too, and it's one I didn't think about, and OG Kevin Smith, kind of hard to beat.
Hey, Bob, just to clarify, we're talking 1980s Dune with Sting playing Fade Rotha.
no.
I said,
No, I said Goon.
yeah, Goon is a hockey movie, the Sean William
What
Scott.
is Dune? Oh, I thought you said Dune. All right, sorry.
No. Like
What are you gooning about, dude?
Is that some of that Gen Alpha slang that I don't know anything about?
Maybe.
and as good as the original Dune was, I'd have to give it to the Dune Part 2 that just came out last year. That was awesome.
You're in the honeymoon phase. Give it a couple of years.
Oh boy. I think we should just let Bob Brooks and Rich do a Dune episode.
I
Let
think
them
we'll
combat.
go on David Lynch if you want. Like we're not even just do it. Let's like expand it.
Dude, I love that series. Like I've read all the books by Herbert, all the original stuff by Herbert. Like that is just such a great story.
I read the first 3.
They're great, aren't they, dude?
Back to back to back. I put off reading them for a while because I'm like, oh, this is going to be boring and it's going to sign. It was actually really good. So yes, it was fantastic. I'm glad I actually read it. And then I'm glad I read it before I saw the David Lynch one because you wouldn't know what's going on otherwise, but it's still fun to watch.
Right. And what's funny, Tom, is I mentioned the Warhammer series, right? And like they steal so hard from Frank Herbert on a lot of that stuff. And you could see it. You're like, oh, that's inspired by Dune.
Star Wars. The first Star Wars movie was developed. A lot of it was.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I remember watching the original Dune when I was younger and just thought it was like really long and drawn out. Haven't gone back to it, so I have no frame of reference, and I don't want to speak ill of something that I've not really seen in a long time, nor really read much of the material. Just science fiction these days is really not my thing. So
just go back to the South Park episode where they're getting high from the cat's asses. That's when you really got it.
that's about my level, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, it's about my level now. So, all right, let's just keep it going this round. So I think we did Bink. I think you went after Bob. So what you got, sir?
My all-time favorite movie of all time is Goodfellas.
Oh,
That's number one to me. But again, like Bob, I just got a list here. I got Tommy Boy on here, Caddyshack, Monsters Inc. It's a Mad World. That's from the 60s. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. That's really good. Spaceballs, History of the World Part 1, Blazing Saddles, Happy Gilmore, Star Wars 4 through 6, and Rocky 2.
all right, man. Yes,
I know I went through those quick.
No, you're good.
I have Happy Gilmore on my list too.
Yeah, I probably should have had Happy Gilmore in mind, but I did not include that on my original list, which is odd. You would think I would. No, that's awesome, man. Rocky 2, cool.
That was the first movie I remember going to see. I was 4 or 5 when it came out, and I just remember seeing that one. That one and Star Wars Episode 6. Those are the first 2 movies I remember seeing in the movie theater.
It's funny how that works. The first ones you recall tend to stick with you the most. And I have one on my list that's like that. I am curious though. Monsters Inc. I mean, it's a great movie, but I'm curious as to why it's one of your favorites.
I just threw in a different genre.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I was like, you know what? Let's throw in a Disney type movie.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just didn't know if it was like some like, you know.
He's sexually attracted to Sully.
Yep. And I love Mike Wazowski.
Wazowski.
No judgment here.
Yeah, it's just a fun movie.
Now and Mel Brooks, man, just doesn't disappoint. Blazing Saddles is an all-time classic, and it's funny you say that, and one of the ones I probably should have included on mine, dude. I'm like Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka. I'm not talking about the Johnny Depp or whatever other crap they put out since then. It's really really hard to beat. Gene Wilder and Blazing Saddles, my goodness. Levon Little, that movie is just a masterpiece through and through. Yeah, absolutely love that one. And it's unfortunately a movie you could not touch these days. Kind of
I'm
with
just
the
waiting for Rich's reaction right now.
He has none.
Sheriff, he is.
He said he's coming near.
Super Troopers.
Oh, God, that one's. I love that one. Yeah, anytime that's on, I watch it too.
How did I not put that in there? All
Yeah,
the
I'll
stupid
throw-
shit on my list.
I'm gonna throw. I'll throw that down in yours, Bob, and then tell you what. I'm working on this thing. I'll share it with you guys after the fact, and feel free to make any changes or if I missed anything, and then we can kind of convene an actual bracket out of it. But all right, so.
Hey, you bear fucker.
Rich, he's talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn. I didn't prepare ahead of time, so I've slowly been building up my lists as everyone's been going.
Thanks for playing, Rich. Appreciate it.
Yes. So yeah. When Bob said Goon, I was waiting for the rest of it, and I thought it was going to be Goonies because I think that's a really good one.
Oh yeah,
love Goonies.
Then one of my more favorite movies is A Princess Bride. That's one of the movies.
Oh man,
that's on the
I
list.
have that one. I have that one too, Rich. Nice. Dude.
That one makes the list.
Godfathers 1 and 2. It's hard to decide which one's better.
2.
2 is good. 1 Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I just love that movie. I love all the actors in it. I think it's fantastic. The book's really good too. Blade Runner, one of the best sci-fi movies of all time.
I have that one too.
Yeah, holds up well. And then there's the I don't want to call it the odd one out, but there's a older movie called Being There, starring Peter Sellers. He's mistaken for wealthy, high upper class British guy when he's really a mentally challenged person. And it's a very good kind of it goes into religious allegory, like it ends with him walking on water because he's so innocent. But it's just really good. It's the same guy that did Hal Ashby. He did Harold and Maude and a couple other things. All those movies are fantastic, but I think Being There is probably my favorite out of all of them.
Nice, man. It was really funny because Brooks, do you have a list left? Because Rich just kind of burned through part of it, dude.
Yeah, he got a couple of them.
I didn't put Breakfast Club on there. Jesus.
Breakfast Club is good.
I love that movie. All right, I'm done.
I'll throw it on for you, Bink.
We didn't put
no, that's fine. Don't worry about
Ghostbusters.
I like Weird
Oh
Science.
my God.
Dude,
I have
you're
Ghostbusters
stepping on my
mine.
shit, man.
Yeah, I have it on mine because I watched that with my son. That's one of the first movies we watched together was the original.
Going off Bob's other things though, when he says Ghostbusters, he means the all-female Ghostbusters.
Oh God, dude, I almost did that as a joke. I was like, Ghostbusters 2016.
I honestly have not seen it.
We had that on Bracket of Bad.
We did have it on Bracket of Bad.
Yeah.
No, that was an easy one to put on there.
Probably made a porn out of that, right?
What, out of our Bracket of Bad?
No,
all right, Brooks.
Rich, Rich, did you have any more, dude, or you finished?
I think that's good. I think that's what I got.
All right, let me Tom,
I was
you
gonna
ready
say,
for me to
yeah, I
plow
was
through
just saying,
mine?
go for it, dude.
All right, so I got Aliens. Obviously, I'm wearing a Wayland Yutani shirt right now. So the second one, that's my favorite one with the Space Marines. Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
Well, yeah.
Fourth Kind. So the one about I don't know if you guys have seen The Fourth Kind, but it's like it's written kind of like a documentary movie about people that have like alien encounters in Alaska, and it's creepy. Just watch it, you'll have fun. Ghostbusters, we mentioned that. Happy Gilmore, we mentioned that one. Terminator, the original Terminator.
Hmm.
I got Dune, Army of Darkness, Princess Bride. You guys covered all them. Gladiator,
That's a fun one.
Blade Runner, and then the last one I put on here. It's not really a movie per se, but it's a miniseries, so it's kind of like in between a movie and a TV show. I put the Chernobyl miniseries. That thing was amazing. Like I could watch that again time and time.
I see it. It's funny, I know, Rich, you threw it out there, and Brooks, you did too. Princess Bride, and like looking at that, I mean, that's I think that has to be included no matter what. That's just absolutely. That's like I think because we're all roughly the same age. That movie was so good when we were younger, and like was one of those that just it's like ages like a fine wine. It's such a classic.
Yeah.
It doesn't get
It was
old.
one of those when you were sick from school, you just put it on the VCS. Oh my god!
Because that was the whole
VHS.
concept.
Yeah.
Was like
Exactly.
Columbo came in and read him a book when it
Yeah.
read Savage a book, and it was The Princess Bride.
Peter Falk, man, and I don't, we'd have to go back and listen to all the hours that we've recorded, but I don't think that's the first time Peter Falk's been name dropped. So,
Him and James Caan, two best Italians in movies.
You said the miniseries. One that I absolutely love is Band of Brothers.
That's a great one too, dude.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You guys really kind of covered a lot of what I had. I didn't have a whole lot of movies per se. I had several on here. But you said Brooks. You said Terminator. I went with Terminator 2. I love the original, but the sequel I absolutely love. I mean, the Robert Patrick character is amazing.
It was a toss up for me between the first and second one because they're both so good.
I like the grindhouse-ness of the first one a little more than the second one. The more horror aspect.
I get that.
Yeah.
I think Terminator 2 to me is just.
It's like the best.
Really amazing
effects or the lines or just there's just certain things about that movie and Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor again to me is a little bit grittier in the second one because of the and so I think I love her character in that.
Was that the first girl you spanked it to or what?
Well, obviously, duh.
Okay,
I mean, come on.
It's a shame they didn't make any more Terminator movies after the second one.
Yeah, dude, I know. I'm with you.
That's a damn shame. Its series was ripe for the picking. And
Yep.
They just never went back and made any other Terminator movies after the first two.
The series wasn't terrible though. That
the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Yeah, I like that.
I had Ghostbusters as well. I mean, how can you not include that one? It's an amazing movie. Die Hard. Kind of surprised.
That's a good one.
Yeah, kind of surprised no one mentioned that. I'm also kind of surprised no one mentioned Back to the Future, which
I was going to say that, but then you told me to shut up when I said Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So Back to the Future was the first movie I recall seeing in the theater. So think kind of like you said that was, but then it's Back to the Future as well. So I mean, it's how and then I kind of took a little turn for the other ones. Boondock Saints. Still go back to that.
Nice.
Office Space.
Wow.
Euro Trip. That's a
Scoozy.
A schools. Oh, my robot's balls. And then one that
she just died too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and she was young. And then one that I will watch about every 6 months is Not Another Teen Movie. I can't get enough of that movie. It's just one of I remember seeing that in the theater and I didn't know what to think, and then I've watched it probably 100 times since, and I always catch something different. But there's one movie that none of us mentioned
This is a surprise, Clark. This is just a real nice surprise. Just a real nice surprise.
Christmas Vacation.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I just put it on my list. I was like, shit, I watch it every year.
Yeah.
Say comments throughout the whole damn year on that
Right.
movie.
They could play ball.
I was thinking that with Die Hard. If it was Christmas time, Die Hard would have been on the top of my list because it was fresh.
That
on
and
my
that,
mind.
you know, Brooks, that's the funny thing. So when we've talked about this before doing this,
Incredible.
the time of year that you do this, I think would change some of your answers because
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you know you go Christmas Vacation. I find it hard pressed to say that any one of us around Christmas time wouldn't say Home Alone, you know, or you know
Yep.
something of that ilk because of the time of year. So that's what makes this fun. You know, it just makes it so different.
Yeah, if it was
Oh.
time of year, I'd probably put Grumpy Old Men in there.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a great one.
Hmm.
That was almost the name of this podcast.
But it was taken, right? Copyrighted.
Yeah, I didn't feel like getting sued or demonetized.
Yeah, you know, because we're losing so much money on this one. Yeah, no, but no, it I don't know. It's kind of movies are fun. I love, you know, kind of going through like the ones that I went through and was trying to think of other ones, and it's like, you know, your mind kind of wavers toward comedy or kind of goes toward this or that, and it's like I try to think of different genres, different things I love. But you know, the I think it's changed over the years. If you would have asked me this 20 years ago, I would have said Fight Club, Seven, you know, those types of movies, which I still love,
Yeah.
but I don't know that they ultimately rose to that Princess Bride level. So
Yeah, like could you watch it over and over again?
yeah, that I did, but I don't know that I could now. So, all right, let's switch gears here to musicians. What do you all have here? If whoever wants to go, I don't really care at this point who's starting. So,
All right, so let's go. Again, just a list. Start Queen, Metallica, the Beatles, Johnny Cash, Foo Fighters, Dropkick Murphys, Flying Molly, Rancid, Real Big Fish.
anybody have any?
I'd probably plus one the Beatles.
Yeah, Beatles.
I have Johnny Cash on mine.
Okay, Bob, you want to elaborate on anything?
No,
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 Nice.
I
appreciate
At
the
this
contribution.
I feel well. I mean, like Queen. I feel like is just how do you not love Queen?
The gay stuff, or
No. That's Queens.
oh, gotcha.
Shit, those are Queens. No, Queen. You know, I mean, they've written the soundtrack to every sporting event that's ever happened. You know, every major sporting event.
You have a very overlying sports theme to your list.
Yeah. There's a lot of look, man.
Rich, Bob and I
Man, who
had
am,
like a whole
okay?
separate sports podcast under this
Yeah.
umbrella. So,
I mean, and as far as all of the ska bands and stuff that are on my list, ska and professional wrestling are the only two legitimate forms of art. So that's where we're at.
you know, I can always agree with you on that, Bob. No, it's cool though. I love the Johnny Cash inclusion. That's one I kind of wavered on. All right, who's next? Anybody?
I'll go. I got Zeppelin, Pearl Jam, DMX. What?
We got to stop real quick with what you just said, though.
Pearl Jam?
Yeah, because where are we going to be a week from now?
Rocking the fuck out.
So yeah, 1 week from now, Bink and I are actually going to be seeing Pearl Jam. So,
Right.
so don't. Yeah, you thought our thread was next thread was bad this past few days. Oh, you just wait till next Thursday.
There's gonna be some gibberish there.
Are going to be
Well,
clicking
gibberish that'll
unsubscribe.
match Pearl Jam lyrics.
Oh,
Exactly.
we're going to Nashville, and we got a hotel right on the corner from a brewery
Nice.
that, no joke, has about 100 different beers on tap. And
And you're
Like
gonna,
this.
and you're going to try all of them.
well, it's
I'm gonna
possible.
try.
It's possible. All right, sorry, man. Go
How
for it. I just had to
How much are
stop you there.
tickets? hold on a second. How much are tickets?
They're what, 120, I think.
Yeah, they're one something.
Because I have off next Friday.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh,
I work Thursday and I'm off on Friday.
it's in Nashville.
I'm not that far from Nashville, am I?
Where are you at?
I'm in the South. I mean, isn't the South all the same thing? No,
It's all kind of close to Nashville.
You're a few
think I'm
hours.
like-
You're probably because Bob, I'm like about 8 hours or so from you. It's probably about 6 for you.
Oh, never mind. I won't be able to get there in time for after work.
Just leave early.
Probably.
Dude, here's the great
It's
thing
the
about this job.
Batmobile, dude.
I probably could just leave early from work with this job because that's just the kind of place it is, and they probably would be okay with it.
Mhm.
I
All right,
think
we'll
so.
see you
I
next
got-
week, Bob. So I got DMX, Busta Rhymes, DMB, Chris Stapleton, Offspring, Frank Sinatra, BB King, Clapton, and Bob Seger.
Yeah, dude, I almost put Clapton on mine.
Who the fuck is Chris Stapleton?
He's a country guy.
Oh, all right.
Blues. He's not country.
He's country, dude.
Oh.
We live in the fucking Midwest. He's country. Come on, don't get over yourself. And you're from fucking Chicago. Come on.
He likes both kinds of music, country and western.
Blues. I'd say BB King.
BB King is the blues guy, but Chris
I know.
Stapleton is not blues. Come on, man.
Bluegrass.
Is Chris Stapleton white?
Yes,
It's not the blues.
I know it's not blues.
he's screwing around. No, yeah, I know, and you kind of did it again. You crossed a bunch of genres, which is cool because I love a lot of different stuff, man, and I'm super stoked to check out Pearl Jam, but I'm gonna give you crap for Dave Matthews because I just don't.
That's
like
fine.
I don't like Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews is on my bracket of bad. I just can't stand them. But I gotta give you a lot of props and love for DMX and Busta Rhymes. So
Yeah.
DMX is greater than DMB all day long.
X gonna
That's
give
every Friday. Every Friday just fucking pumps me up so I can go home.
All right.
Where are my bitches at?
Brooks, Rich, whichever you guys want to go, have at it.
Go ahead, Rich.
Okay, well, I want to +1 Led Zeppelin right off the bat,
Mhm.
and I do like Frank Sinatra, but I feel like that's a stereotype, so I don't want to bring it up. But going off of my actual list that I just made up in my head 2 minutes ago, I would put Lou Reed on the list. I think his music's fantastic. I go back to it all the time. Transformers, an amazing album. We're going to go with David Bowie. We're going to go with the Ramones, because that's, again, something I can always listen to, is always good. The Dead Milkmen. I was just at one of their concerts. I make sure I go to. I know they're a relatively local band, but they did have play on MTV in the 80s and 90s. Beavis and Butthead did the Punk Rock Girl video, so I guess that counts as national exposure. There was another one the Grateful Dead. I'm a big Deadhead. I do like listening to their music. And then let's throw some reggae, but not the overplayed Wailers, but let's go with Max Romeo. Stuff, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, Bowie's hard to beat, man. But I love
What's
Bowie.
cool about Bowie is Bowie I almost want to throw Aerosmith on there too, just because they managed to redo it. But the thing with Bowie is Bowie stuck around so long because he would change his music. Like, he would move with the times. Like, he'd start out with the stuff, and then he had his disco phase, he had his electrical phase, he had his industrial phase, and then he went back to, just Bowie.
Yeah,
Aerosmith
I
was
got
good.
a +1.
Good.
Got a +1 Bowie. And no, yeah, I was through Aerosmith on my list too, but I was like, I don't know. I was in a weird place when I wrote my list.
Yeah.
Taking
Music's a
shit?
very recency bias thing too. It's like you change what Tom was saying earlier, like, it depends on time of the year, like what your mindset is and shit like that too is what I listen to.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Ramones too. Plus one, the Ramones.
Music's probably the hardest of these categories, only in the sheer fact of exactly what you just said, Rich. It's recency bias, and you can be into a genre really, really hard ahead of anything else, and and be into it for a while, and then kind of forget, like, oh, hey, I loved X, Y, and Z for all these years, even though you still enjoy it, but you're so much into a certain thing that it does make a difference. No, that's a great list, and I Bowie, Ramones, you get into some of the Zeppelin. I'm not a huge Grateful Dead fan, but I do respect a lot of the work, and it's just fantastic, man. I'm definitely down. I'm not hating on any of that for sure. Brooks, you wanna chime in here? What you got, man?
Yeah, man. Number one, Darude Sandstorm. No, I'm definitely,
I love you.
definitely kidding. All right. So I got sorry, I had to get it out, man. I got AC/DC, Daft Punk, Nightwish, which is kind of eclectic for some people. Metallica. I got the big names like Nine Inch Nails, KMFDM. I got Notorious B.I.G. on there.
Nice.
Pennywise, Johnny Cash, and Wave Shaper was one of my recent synthwave ones. So that's probably the recency bias with Wave Shaper, because that's within the past couple of years.
You said
And-
Puffy?
No, it's
No.
called
No.
No, I did not say Puffy.
Dude, plus one on Daft Punk.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, dude. I it's funny because I know I was probably the one that introduced you to Daft Punk too.
I think you were, dude.
Because I was listening to them like right before they hit, so
Late 90s, dude. Late 90s, yeah.
90, 95, 96 was right when I caught Daft Punk.
Yeah.
So
Another fun one is Fatboy Slim.
Ooh, that's a good one.
yeah, Fatboy Slim was good.
They're fun.
It's it's a good one. Yeah, no, Daft Punk's a good one. I don't know. Bink, did you plus
Discovery
one
is
them?
probably one of the best albums of all time.
It's funny because you kind of go forward in time, and Daft Punk was obviously known for sampling different things and electronic music, but then their music gets I don't want to get into a conversation about Kanye West at all, but then their music explodes basically off of the
Hey,
popularity.
Tom, I'm going to let you finish, but I have one more.
Nice.
So I had actually this is kind of an eclectic one. Mick Gordon as an artist. I don't know if you guys know who this dude is, but he's the guy that did all the music for the new Doom games, and he basically got a heavy metal choir to sing a lot of the jams, and rather than using a guitar, I'm pretty sure this dude did a line of coke and said, let's synthesize a lawnmower and a chainsaw, and we'll use that for guitar riffs instead. So Mick Gordon gets an honorable mention on my music list.
Nice.
If we're gonna add stuff, I want to add Zappa and the Mothers of Invention too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And I want to plus one
I-
Bob Seger. And I've been thinking about Night Moves since he mentioned it.
Dude, Night Moves. Night Moves is one of my favorite songs. Just to we would screw around whenever we would karaoke back in the day. Now I really want to go out, but Danielle would sing, and so we would always egg people on to sing Night Moves. Like that was just like the thing. Night Moves.
Ralph Bakshi,
Seger!
the guy that did Wizards and Fritz the Cat, has a movie called American Pop, which is like following this one family through generations, but they do it through music, like going back from the 30s, the 40s, and it ends in the 80s because that's when Ralph Bakshi was around, and it ends with him doing Night Moves. It's just fantastic. Always makes me think of that.
I don't have a whole lot on mine. I'll just kind of quickly buzz through them. But I would like to put it out there for anyone to just guess one of them. I guess someone should know at least one of them. Always going to be on my list for favorite musicians.
Limp
Yeah,
Bizkit.
Taylor Swift.
All three, obviously.
The Olsen twins.
That's why I love asking. That's why I love asking this question because I knew it wasn't going to get a real answer.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh God. All right. No, I knew I was going to
Brittany,
get a real answer. What'd you say?
Brittany, bitch.
I knew I was going to get a real answer, so that's why I said that. Anyway, we got Beastie Boys, my all-time favorite, and will always be my all-time favorite. The Deftones, Incubus, POD,
Ooh,
and then
nice.
Cell Dweller, which I have grown to love over the last few years, and Brooks definitely the electronic stuff.
Yeah,
know,
Cell Dweller. They're good, man. They're real good.
The dude is like because he
one
does,
dude, right?
yeah, it's one guy. He's in his 50s now, but it's the same. Cell Dweller, Scandroid, Circle of Dust. It's all the same guy. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
What about
but-
Dankmas?
It goes up. It goes down. It goes up.
Dude, that's my honorable mention. Seriously, Dankmas is my honorable mention.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I'm not kidding you. Like, so seriously, go if you guys don't know Dankmas and you like The Simpsons, you need to check out Dankmas because he's amazing. Or that I don't know, he, she, I don't know. It's amazing
whatever.
though. And then I've got Weird Al on mine. I'm gonna go see Weird Al finally this summer. I'm really looking forward to it. But Weird Al was like one of my first exposures to just like fun music. So I've grew up with Weird Al, so it's like I'm finally getting to see him live, and so I had to put him on there. But yeah, no, it's a recency bias. I've been listening to again a lot of POD lately, like really the last couple of years. Has been like really my jam. I don't know why, just something I've been into. But what if I'm gonna go with, I've had a very eclectic music taste for a long time. I included no synth or electronic stuff other than Cell Dweller kind of touches that, but even though that's really what I had been listening to hard outside of just POD and some other things, I've kind of fallen in love with a couple of different things lately. Acoustic versions of hard rock or metal songs. So like POD has a great acoustic album. Recently discovered Godsmack's acoustic, EP or album. Like there's just some really good stuff, that's out there that's acoustic of like some heavy stuff. And I enjoy that a lot. And then I kind of circle back to listening to some older stuff and being down south now for as long as I have. I'll pick up a lot on Marshall Tucker and Leonard Skinner, Doobie Brothers. I think that's just a nature of living where I'm at, and it's just relaxing. It's fun. It's beach. Put a beer in your hand and just enjoy life. Go to the lake. It's just good stuff. We made it all the way to the wild card. So
Real
Bob,
quick, none of us said Nirvana.
That's funny. I almost did.
Yeah.
But I have a really weird thing with Nirvana. I absolutely like my favorite all-time live album is obviously the Unplugged.
Yeah,
I just grabbed that on vinyl the other day actually, and I have a hard time like finding any other live album that I listen to over and over again. And I love Nevermind, and I love In Utero, and there's other things I absolutely love from Nirvana, but I can't honestly say that I love everything that they did. So.
exactly. It's just, they
Right.
revolutionized the thing, but it was just interesting that none of us said that.
Yeah, it's really weird for me with Nirvana. Like, I would probably be like Bob and say Foo Fighters over Nirvana at this point. I'm serious.
Yeah, I would
like,
too.
It's just the way
I
it
love
is.
Foo.
I came close to Joy Division. They just didn't quite make it.
It's funny how stuff is like you think about that. Just like I really liked an album or two, and you just I don't know. All right, we got one more category to go to, and then we're done. And then we'll figure this out off pod and kind of go from there. But
all right, I'm gonna start with the slam dunk on my and I'm kind of burying the lead here, or not burying the lead, but I'm gonna give you the whole show up front. So my first thing on the wild card list is boobs.
Mine too.
Nice. Then we go video games, pizza, cheesesteaks, the shore, beer, whiskey, and wrestling.
All right. I'm almost with you there.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cheesesteak for lunch today. It was
Nice.
awesome.
Where'd you get it from, Rich?
Pudgies.
Ooh.
Yeah, Cooper Sharp cheese.
Super sharp. That's the way to go.
Man. I
Fried
simultaneously love and hate you right now.
Yeah, I don't even have my hookup anymore since I moved to South Carolina.
Yeah, you don't have anywhere out there, do you?
I don't have nothing, man.
Yeah, you're like me. You're in no man's land. You have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The closest good cheesesteak for me is Indianapolis, which is a haul several hours away. Probably about the same distance as you.
Mm-hmm.
Which you might as well just go north at that point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back home and get cheesesteak.
All right, I think I got most of yours, but like I said, I'll share this list with you guys, and you can edit and feel free to do whatever you need to do with it. Go for it, Bink.
All right. Yeah, my number one was boobs as well. Plain and simple. Alaska, ECW,
Yes.
Nice.
Disney World, snorkeling, Chicago beef sandwiches everywhere except Portillo's. Fuck that place. Golf, the Florida Keys, Asian food as a general, beer, and then my college experience with all my buddies. So
Nice. Why not Portillo's, Bink?
fuck that place.
Tell me how you really feel, man.
They could eat my
I told-
asshole and it still wouldn't be shitty enough.
Portillo's made the bracket of bad, which I'm sure you probably weren't surprised. You remember that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, didn't win. But do need to mention that we all thought the people that actually did that thought Florida won. Did not. Comcast customer support was the actual winner of the bracket of bad. So
Oh,
Who would have thought?
I think it's funny because we spent so much time doing that, and none of us remembered who won it. Florida didn't even make it out of the last 16. Like,
I think I was so salty about Florida not making it that I just overrode it in my head.
Oh man. All right. Bink, I think I got most of yours. I might have missed a couple at the end, but again, feel free to check to edit. So all right. Rich, Brooks, what you got?
I'll go. Boobs was on my list. It wasn't number one though. Number
Your
one
own
is,
boobs?
Number one is dogs. Dogs are number one.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what else. Boobs. The internet. Can't do anything without the internet.
Porn.
You can learn whatever you want, even if it's stuff that you don't want to learn. Let me see.
How do I type that?
The internet? Just the
No,
internet.
what you just said.
Oh, that was me thinking. Rambling.
Rich mumbles incoherently. That's how
Yes.
you type that.
Okay, Rich mumbles. Okay, got it.
The podcast. And the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I almost put the podcast on there. So,
I mean,
This
it
is
didn't win the
of
bracket
good,
of
though,
bad.
right? Yeah, Bobby and I are thinking the same thing.
oh man, yeah,
But
I
mostly
should put
dogs.
that on my bracket of bad. Actually, no, I was kidding. All right, so Brooks, what you got, man? Rich, are you done? Was that it?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Cool. So first one, the 1-to-1 correlation between Subaru sales and scissor sales. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the earlier. In all seriousness, so I put the Cold War because I'm kind of a Cold War geek. I love that stuff. Staying fit, or as I like to call it, beating up the wife's boyfriend. Tom, you and I talked about this, and I think I have a name for it: tech skill challenges. So across generations. You and I talked about this a little bit, where the newer generation weren't really exposed to a lot of the fundamentals of information technology and all of the digital revolution and all that stuff. Whereas some of us had hubs set up in our bedroom when we were, 17 and 18, so that we could TCP/IP to our friends when they came over, and we could, we were lugging around PCs back and forth to people's houses to play games and stuff. So people don't like the new generation. I think they and Rich kind of actually hit on this when he talked about the internet. Like, if you shut off the internet, like, the new generation has no idea how to do anything, right? Because it's gone. The magic's gone. So, yeah, anyway, I'll get off that soapbox. AI gone off the rails. So that's like something that I think about a lot, unfortunately. Maybe that's why Terminator's like one of my top movies too. And then I think I was talking to Bobby about this before, but are we living in the Matrix? Like, are we living in a virtual reality right now? I think that would be a cool topic to talk about and dive into. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Cool, man. No. I by the way, when you get your copy of the sheet, or when I give you guys edit access, it's going to say Subaru sales. So, just FYI.
I would also like to thank condoms, because I would have a lot more kids out there.
All right, my wild card here, picking things I love, of things that did not fit the topics of movies or music in terms of musicians or video games. Wawa, Route 66, Florida's Forgotten Coast, which is where I travel to at least 2-3 times a year, if not more now.
Is that the one that's on the Gulf of America?
Yes, sir.
Goddamn
I
right
don't
it
know.
is.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know where that is.
USA. Yeah, no, it's in the very like less inhabited part. Just absolutely love it because it's very natural and it's not a whole lot going on. Triptych Brewing, which Bink knows Triptych. We had a fun time about a month ago at Triptych, actually.
Yeah. We made it back to the hotel though.
Yes, we did. That's another place I try to go to 2 or 3 times a year.
Little beaver on that list.
And then lastly, I was like, I got to get something specific, and I'm glad I did because a lot of you guys did too. The episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where the gang gives Frank an intervention.
That's a good one.
Intervention.